Hey everyone, I hope your evening is going well tonight. I've just recently reacquired a new webcam, and so I'm going to start doing more of these little blurbs, positions, statements, questions, whatever suits my fancy for the most part. But one of the posts I made tonight, when I was pondering this kind of surge in progressive politics. For those of you who don't know what progressive politics are, the best way to define a progressive is someone who's a little further left than your traditional Democrat. Not a socialist entirely, but not a moderate Democrat, or what could be phrased as a liberal Democrat. Um, so, but what does it mean to be a progressive? Well, a progressive is one who is looking forward to the future, who takes today and invests what he can today to make a better tomorrow. Building institutions, building infrastructure, building people that can function in tomorrow's world to make sure that the next generation always is better and better equipped than the current one. Um, and so for me, what it means to be a progressive, and I'll just run off the statements that I made, that I think matter the most to me. Um, now, I welcome people's discussion on these issues, but keep in mind these are my views personally, and if you have a question as to why I believe what I believe, I welcome you to engage me in civil discussion. And I will post my Facebook page and my Twitter feed and my Pinterest account in the details of this video. So I encourage you to visit my community page, facebook.com/theliberalpragmatist, where I blurb a lot of my political positions and arguments and discussions, and I welcome you to like and follow that page. What it means to me to be a progressive Democrat, I believe in a woman's right to choose is indefensible. I believe it is a position that cannot be questioned. I believe women have every right to do what they want with their bodies, regardless of what that may be. I take no moral position towards anyone on this position. What a woman chooses to do with her body is what a woman chooses to do with her body, and nothing more. I believe in same-sex marriage, and I believe it should be legally recognized as a legitimate form of marriage in our nation. It is a social necessity for same-sex couples to be recognized under the law to ensure the smooth and untroubled transition of property and rights from single personhood to dual personhood, essentially, for married same-sex couples to have recognition that they are a single household unit and that their relationship is unique in that they believe in sharing resources and their lives together, and I believe the law should reflect that. I believe income inequality is a serious, systematic problem causing measurable harm to the economy and to society as a whole. Our society has a horrible wealth distribution issue, and as a result, it's hurting local governments, it's hurting middle-class families, it's hurting the poor even, and the only people who have been benefiting from the economy in the last 30 years are the wealthy and super wealthy. And so it's time to bring that back into balance and to reinstitute the policies of the 1950s and 60s to ensure that we have a continuous, stable flow of wealth moving from bracket to bracket to bracket. I believe in funding the institutions that protect the safety and security of our citizens. This means funding things like education, funding things like law enforcement, funding things like the FDA, the FCC, the FBI, take your pick. There's a whole list of them that are so short-funded right now that they are unable to be effective. And these institutions are responsible for ensuring that the public is informed and safe and secure. And right now we're not doing that job very well at all. But in part no fault of the current president, because he's kind of against the wall at the moment and he can't really do what he wants to do. I believe in I believe the courts should have more power. I believe they need more funding, and I believe they need the tools to properly enforce and punish people who are breaking the law, and this includes everyone from your average Joe all the way up to your corporate boss. I believe in the government-regulated free market. I believe that the free market is a necessary institution to ensure the smooth and stable flow of goods and services from supplier to consumer and back. And so without the free market, you cannot have a functioning economy. But do not mistake this for endorsing the view of an entirely unregulated market, which is not logical to me. It does not make sense to have a market that you can do whatever you want in without fear or threat of sanction for doing something wrong. For you libertarians out there who think the free market can regulate yourself, obviously not, since we had the 2008 crash. I believe in a diplomatic foreign policy and the de-emphasis of militarism. I believe that having a diplomacy-focused foreign policy is the best way to ensure that we have a stable and peaceful world, as well as the means of engaging nations in useful and meaningful dialogue, as well as possibly relationships that function. I believe in free trade, but only with nations with standards of living equal or proximate to our own. Having free trade agreements with nations like China or Malaysia or other nations that have severely deficient standards of living only harms our economy and costs us valuable manufacturing jobs that are otherwise now sent overseas to be taken from Americans that otherwise would be using them to feed their families. I believe in free speech, but I do not believe corporations are people. I believe corporate accountability and strict adherence to the law by all corporations is a necessary and proper necessity. It is necessary for corporations to follow the rules and to be held accountable in ways that discourage said violations. I believe in Buy America, Buy in America, Made in America. If we can manufacture for ourselves, that is very preferable to buying manufactured goods from abroad, where we face unfair competition from sweatshop labor nations like China and Malaysia and similar. I believe manufacturing must be brought home by slapping a tariff on cheap imported goods and to protect our manufacturing sector from unreasonable competition. I believe in the fair and equal pay of women. I believe women are equal in every way to men in every status and means of the word, and I believe that pay should be reflected in the work they do, not by the organs they were born with. I believe in government investing in the future through investment of infrastructure, through education, and through programs that encourage business startups, investment in labor, and the innovation of new ideas. I believe in the high-speed rail program. I believe that a high-speed rail network would be extremely beneficial to the nation, and it would provide a means of cheap and fast transportation of people and goods across the country. We are one of the few developed nations that actually do not have high-speed rail. Even China has invested in this technology, and so it is most definitely our turn to do so. I believe in increasing the minimum wage to $11 an hour and indexing it to the rate of inflation. Had minimum wage remained fixed with inflation, we would have a minimum wage of about $10.40 an hour. It's equivalent to making about $20,000 or $22,000 a year. So which would guarantee a minimum standard of living for a single person. I believe in progressive taxation. That taxation should be applied based on the amount of your excess. I believe that the tax code should be reworked and formulated to encourage wages and technological investment. I believe that a high rate discourages greed and discourages hoarding of capital, and I believe that a high taxation rate with many ways of reducing your effective rate is effective in encouraging people to do the right thing and to not pay themselves billion-dollar bonuses. I believe in universal preschool and kindergarten. I believe in universal daycare for low-income parents. I believe it is a necessity for the nation to have a program where single mothers or single fathers have the flexibility and means of dropping their children off at a daycare provider so that they can go to work and provide for their family. I believe it is a necessary and proper function of the government to serve as second parent where a second parent is not present or not available. I believe in Medicare for all. I believe that Medicare should be expanded to all citizens, that all citizens have a right to health care, and that that health care should be paid for by everybody concurrently. That a percentage of your income should be invested in healthcare services, and that healthcare being universal for all citizens, guaranteeing that if you are sick, that you do not have to go bankrupt to get your disease taken care of. It is a human right, not a economic right. And finally, and probably one of the most important things, is I believe in you. I believe in the American citizen. I believe that the American citizen's potential to be unmatched both education-wise, technology-wise, social-wise, is unmatched in the world. Does this mean I look down on other nations? No. But I do believe that we as a melting pot society bring a unique place to the world, that we as a nation that embraces many other nationalities and cultures and societies will be the shining light to the world. I believe that we will overcome this dark chapter in our history, this second Gilded Age that we are currently embroiled in, and that we will rise stronger, and that we will push past this dark page in our history and work for a society where everybody has everything they need to live a moderately comfortable life, where people are able to be self-sufficient and provide for their families, where people can be stable and not dependent on the government for everything. But don't mistake this for contradicting my other statements about certain services like healthcare and education, because those, I believe, work for the public good. I believe the public benefits greatly from those kinds of services, and I will fight for them 100% of the time I live. YouTube, if you have any questions, please visit my Facebook page, facebook.com/theliberalpragmatist. Please like and follow if you are curious about more of what I say. I invite you to read my blog. I have a blog at Blogger, which is thecenterleftfield.blogspot.com. I have about 90 posts there, some from when I used to be less progressive, but now the more recent ones, which are the last about 45 entries or so. Furthermore, follow me on Twitter at GDGivens, GDGIVENS. Again, I will put all of these links down below in the comment section, and thank you for listening. Please follow your local progressive politicians and support progressive causes. Please like and follow Elizabeth Warren, who's amazing in every way. Please follow your local Democrat and support your local Democratic caucus or party or group, and let's get a majority in the House of Representatives this next coming up midterm election in 2014. If you have not registered to vote, please register to vote, and please consult your local election office for details about when and where to vote, to ensure that you know exactly where you're going, to make sure that your vote counts. You cannot be counted if you do not vote. I do not care what party you vote for, as long as you vote. I wish your will to be known more than anything else in the world. Have a great night and sleep tight.